What if the real battlefield wasn't outside, but inside your mind? In Hindu philosophy, the journey to liberation doesn't just involve temples and rituals. It's a deep unraveling of the ego, the intellect, and the illusions we mistake for truth. What if the biggest barrier to freedom was the I you think you are? Ahamkara is the ego self, the part of the mind that says, I am this body, I am this role, I am separate. It creates identity, but also division and suffering. Ahamkara clings to name, form, success, and pain, fueling karma and keeping the soul in bondage. The path of yoga and Vedanta teaches us not to kill the ego, but to see through it. When Ahamkara fades, the self shines. What if clarity wasn't found in books, but already existed within you? Buddhi is the intellect, the subtle faculty of the mind that discerns truth from illusion, right from wrong, soul from body. Unlike logic, Buddhi sees beyond thought. It reflects divine wisdom when purified through meditation and detachment. Buddhi guides the soul like a compass, but only when free from the clouds of desire and ego. To sharpen your Buddhi is to find your way back to the light. What if faith wasn't blind, but a deeper knowing beyond doubt? Shraddha is not superstition. It is inner conviction, the sacred trust that truth exists and can be known through experience. It's the fire that keeps the seeker moving when the path is dark. The Bhagavad Gita says faith determines the direction of life. It's the starting point of spiritual evolution. Without Shraddha, no mantra works, no scripture speaks. Shraddha is the soul's whisper. Keep going, the divine is real. What if your suffering could become your sacred strength? Tapas means austerity, the inner heat generated through disciplined practice, restraint, and effort. It is the fire that burns impurities, ego, and karma, forging the soul into strength and clarity. Tapas can be physical, fasting, mental, silence, or spiritual, devotion. Without tapas, there is no transformation. The path is not easy, but tapas turns pain into power and effort into grace. What if who you spend time with shaped your destiny? Satsang means being in the company of truth, through enlightened beings, sacred texts, or like-minded seekers. In satsang, the mind absorbs wisdom effortlessly, just as water reflects the Io moon when still. It dissolves ignorance, uplifts the spirit, and transforms energy. Even a moment in true satsang can awaken lifetimes of dormant insight. Spiritual community isn't luxury, it's nourishment for the soul. What if your purpose was encoded in your soul's design? Swadharma means one's personal dharma, the duty that is uniquely yours. It doesn't depend on success, comparison, or applause. It's the life path that aligns with your nature, gifts, and karma. The Gita teaches, better to fail in your own dharma than succeed in another's. Swadharma leads to inner peace and soul fulfillment, because when you walk your true path, you walk with the universe. What if reading scripture was really reading your own soul? Svadhyaya is the study of sacred texts, but also the deeper introspection it inspires. It is one of the niyamas of yoga, meant to ignite insight and purify thought. Reading the Vedas, or Gita, is not for knowledge. It's for awakening remembrance. With every verse, you reflect on your actions, thoughts, and divine potential. Svadhyaya turns words into wisdom, and wisdom into transformation. What if true freedom came from letting go, not holding on? Vairagya means detachment, not from life, but from the illusion that it defines you. It's the power to enjoy the world without being trapped by it. Vairagya doesn't reject love, success, or experience. It simply releases attachment and dependency. In that release, peace is born. Vairagya makes you untouchable by pleasure or pain, because you've already touched the eternal. What if the mind had a built-in flashlight to cut through illusion? Viveka is discernment, the ability to see the real from the unreal, the eternal from the temporary. It is the first requirement on the path of Jnana Yoga and the fuel for inner freedom. When Viveka awakens, the soul starts questioning, who am I? What is truth? What is illusion? Viveka is the light that burns through Maya and reveals the self. What if your highest self had a divine intelligence guiding your every step? Ishvara is the personal aspect of God, the supreme controller, who governs the universe with wisdom, love, and justice. Ishvara lives in the heart of all beings, whispering the right path, holding the cosmos in balance. Whether known as Shiva, Vishnu, or Devi, Ishvara is the bridge between form and formless. Surrender to Ishvara is not weakness, it is walking with the infinite. What if the joy you've been chasing was already within you? Ananda is bliss, not pleasure from the senses, but the bliss of the soul, untouched by circumstance. It is the true nature of the self, Satchitananda, truth, consciousness, and bliss. This is not a fleeting emotion, but a state of permanent fulfillment. Spiritual practice isn't about gaining something new, it's about removing the noise to return to Ananda. Bliss is your nature. Everything else is a dream. What if all universes were born from a golden seed of consciousness? Hiranyagarbha, the golden womb, is the cosmic embryo from which time, space, and creation emerged. It is the first manifestation of Brahman, carrying the entire potential of the cosmos. This concept reminds us that the universe is not mechanical. It is born from divine intelligence. Within that womb lies every soul, every law, every star. You are not separate from creation. You are born from the same golden seed. What if there was nothing in the world that wasn't divine? The Ishavasya Upanishad begins with a powerful truth. Ishavasyam idam sarvam. All this is pervaded by God. This Upanishad teaches that renunciation and enjoyment are not opposites, but part of a sacred balance. It calls us to live with awareness, see the divine in all beings, and act without greed. The whole world is not a distraction. It is God in disguise. What if truth could only be found by discarding everything that isn't it? Neti, meaning not this, is the Upanishadic method of self-inquiry. It is not a path of acquisition, but of elimination, denying identification with the body, emotions, thoughts, and even subtle energies. As each layer is peeled away, what remains is the pure self, unborn, undying, untouched. Neti doesn't give you the truth. It removes everything that isn't it. What if truth was not just moral, but spiritual power itself? Satya, or truth, is one of the most essential virtues in Hinduism. More than honesty, it is alignment with reality, both external and internal. Sages say truth is God. It cannot be violated without spiritual consequence. Mahatma Gandhi lived by Satya, calling it Satyagraha, or truth force. Satya is the soul's compass. It leads you to clarity, peace, and ultimate freedom. In Satya, you stop pretending and start living.